Hey, what's up? Welcome to Ringside Report MMA. Tonight on the show, we're previewing UFC Vegas 65, Lewis versus Spivak. We're talking the fallout from UFC 281, Adesanya's loss, and, of course, paying tribute to the late, great Anthony Rumble Johnson.
Let's go!
Yes, indeed. What's up, dudes? We're the dudes. Hey, we had the Christmas music, but we still have the Halloween fade or whatever that is. I don't know. I don't know the technical
I was hearing the
term.
Christmas stuff, and I'm like, maybe it's a little too early, Dave.
I don't think so.
I mean, there's still Thanksgiving in the States.
Snow fell.
Yeah,
Snow
that's true,
fell
man.
here where we live,
Man.
so.
Listen, we're all sick. All three of us, man. This is the sick podcast, the Ringside Report Quarantine podcast. I don't know what the hell, man. I'm sick again.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We all have kids.
Yeah, everybody's
That's what
sick.
it is, man. Petri dish, man.
Yeah, we'll
Walking
survive, though.
Petri
We'll get
dish.
through the show. We'll do it. I believe in
I
you,
hope so,
AJ.
man.
You have power.
Yeah. Well, you can hear my voice. It's a little rough.
I just want to start the show by congratulating the great Aaron Judge for officially becoming the MVP, American League MVP, tonight. They announced him as MVP.
Yeah, okay.
Never in doubt. I mean, it
What
was
about the World
between him
Series?
and Otani, and they gave it to Aaron Judge, the MVP. And Hal Steinbrenner says the Yankees will not be outbid on Aaron Judge. They're looking to sign Aaron Judge, and he says they will not be outbid, which is very exciting news.
Will he ever win a World Series? That's a bigger question.
I hope so.
Man, it would have been sweet if he did and got the MVP. That would have been like
That would have been better.
hands down,
Yep.
but
Much better.
c'est mal pas, they say in French, man.
Oh, Houston. What are you going to do?
Houston! The most fair team in the league, man.
Verlander, Cy Young.
Bad news Bears. Hit the Astrodome.
Did he get the Cy Young? I don't even know. I don't
Yeah.
follow Verlander. He did, eh? Bastard. That guy.
You play
He's
to
too
win.
good.
You don't
He's too
play
good.
for records. You play to win the World Series, man.
He's really good. Hey, thank you,
the hell
Alice
was that?
Shanks, my man,
Alice Shanks, man.
my buddy.
Ho, ho,
Shout
ho.
out to you.
World
Good
Cup
guy.
starting this week, guys.
Yeah, man, it's going to be crazy. Can't wait. First game is, who is it? It's Qatar versus,
Sunday. Ecuador.
yeah, I'm going to watch it. Ecuador. Let's go, man, Ecuador.
gonna-
Why, Qatar? Listen.
You guys could fake your love for soccer for a month.
Thanks.
I'll do
Yes.
Baker Love for a month for you, Fred. I'll do it. I'll fake my
Listen.
way through it.
Listen, I'm
No
going to go with the
problem.
controversial, man, Ronaldo, who's in a lot of trouble and a lot of heat going on with him, but I'm hoping
What'd he do?
Portugal can pull it off.
He just did an interview where he blasted his team, blasted Manchester United and all that because he's not playing. Unfortunately, Ronaldo, he's not having a good year. You know, soccer, World Cup is fun, but the real soccer is club at the club level. And unfortunately for Ronaldo this year, man, it's not a good year. He's
Not
old.
a good year, man.
He should come to MLS. That's what I think.
Man,
That'd
that
be
would
cool.
be insane, man. That would be insane.
Finish your
Listen,
career
you're right,
here.
man.
Does he need it?
Or
though?
Freddie,
No,
you
but
end your
come make
career.
a shitload of money like Beckham did or other guys.
Yeah,
Probably made. I mean,
like all of them.
at this point.
All the guys did,
Right.
man.
At this point, Ronaldo
He doesn't need
probably
money,
made
man.
enough. No.
Yeah, he's
But where
World
he
Cup.
should go, Freddie, where he should go to his club team, any team in Portugal, just a club. Just end your career in Portugal.
also.
I think it would be the best move for him. You know, there's going to be a lot less pressure. People are going to love him, even if he plays for a different club team. He's Ronaldo, man. You know, people want to see him, and I think it's a good way. I think MLS is good, but you know what? It's
I think
it's
he
going to
said
be an
if
easier.
Portugal wins he said if Portugal wins the World Cup, he'll retire, which would be the best
What?
fairy tale.
That
ending.
would be, yeah. That you're right. You're right. That would be amazing, man. The best player in the world, man, right there.
Well, we'll see.
Maybe of
I'm
all
hoping
time.
for France
Maybe of
to
all time.
win. If not France, maybe Canada. I saw Canada is in this World Cup, and they
Yo,
have
guys,
games.
we gotta respect Canada, man. We got Alphonso Davies, man. Alphonso Davies is a star, man. He's one of the best players in the world. He's a star for Bayern Munich. So if you're a star for
Yeah,
Bayern
true.
Munich, man, you're
That's
a
big.
good soccer player.
Yep.
Ooh.
True. Good point there, Freddie. You're
I would
absolutely
like
right,
to
man.
see
Spot
Canada
on, man.
get out of group stages. Because once you get out of group stages,
It's gonna be hard.
anything can happen. You know what I mean? But it's just that first kind of setup. And then the games
Belgium
get
is
tough,
getting
but
old.
weird things happen.
But they're still fucking good. And the other team that scares me is Croatia, because Croatia is good, man. They got to the final in the last World Cup, man. So it's
But
gonna be
Croatia
how
hard.
many
always
teams
has
get
the
through to
interesting-
group stages? It's 4
Two.
teams in 2? So Canada's
Yeah,
group,
top
right?
two.
They're in with Belgium,
Yeah, that's
Morocco.
Morocco, and Croatia. So for sure Croatia's going to
Croatia.
go through. But that second spot, like, well, I don't know, Belgium.
Belgium
Yeah,
is a
probably
solid
Belgium and
team.
Croatia, right?
Belgium has a solid team, man. And that's
Is
the thing.
Morocco
it's a,
good?
well,
Probably
Morocco
better
always
than
has
Canada,
good players.
honestly.
My God.
Yeah.
Come on, Canada. Well, maybe. You never know, man. Soccer's a weird game, right? Things happen. I'm hoping Canada does all right. I mean, not as good as France, but, just good. Good enough. France-Canada final. That'd be cool.
Listen, man.
I'm pulling
with
for
this
teams
type-
that have
listen,
Real Madrid
Did you see
players,
the whole setup? I mean,
I like France
you know
with
what's crazy?
Benzema, Chouamini.
All right. Well, France's first game is Tuesday at 2 o'clock.
Freddie,
so I'll be watching
I'm going to
that.
tell you something. Yeah. That'll be a good one. I'll be watching it too. But listen, Freddie, this is a World Cup that anything could happen. When the time zone, the weather change, there's like so many factors here that can make something like the improbable probable. I always say Greece winning the Euro Cup. Anything's possible. But the whole conditions and everything, there's so many like restrictions. They had a notice out for like Canadian travelers, like, guys, you got to behave. You can't drink. You got to respect the laws. You got to be careful what you do. I mean, you're going to a soccer game, but you can get arrested while you're there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's
No
so
paper
many
bag over
factors.
there to cover your alcohol.
no paper bag, man.
Yeah, is
No, there's
alcohol
no Bob
illegal
and Doug
there?
Mackenzie
Are they
style,
not
man.
selling alcohol at the soccer games?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. No,
I
zero.
think they are
Zero,
still.
man.
They have to. I mean,
I think that. No.
what?
I don't think so, Freddie. Not at the stadium. I
Not
think it's
sure.
only at certain
I'm not sure
hotel
exactly.
designated areas. There might be designated spots in the stadium, but listen, you think that's going to be the full, hundreds of thousands of people? I don't think so, man.
Ooh,
It's a strange one.
I'll watch it
you know?
from home.
USA is going to play Iran in this tournament.
Wow, it's going to be
That's interesting.
England is in the same
I'm sure.
in the same group.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Wales
be
and
nuts,
England.
man.
Wales plays England at the same time.
So people want
Yeah, that's
Pulisic to beat England and pull off his shirt and it says like it's called soccer. That would be good.
Oh. All right.
Pulisic
Who?
does the winning goal with like a minute left, and Christian Pulisic
Who the hell is
is
that?
like the best U.S. player.
You say
plays for
Pulisic like I'm
Chelsea.
supposed to know who that is. I don't know who no Pulisic. I never heard no Pulisic in my life. Who's that? AJ knows. Does
He's the
AJ know?
best U.S. player.
AJ, you ever heard of a Pulisic?
yeah, he's good.
You know?
Yeah, he's
I
a
don't
nice
know
U.S.
about
player,
these
man.
guys.
Yeah, I've
Pronouncing
seen
it
him play.
bad.
The guy's incredible.
It might be Pulisic or something
Pulisic
like that.
or Pulisic? Pulisic.
That sounds offensive. I don't know. I don't think you could say that.
Don't pull a chick,
Pulisic?
man.
Yeah.
Don't pull one. Don't pull a sack in Qatar, man. I want to see if any meathead, Freddie, I want to see if any meathead's going to actually run on the field and start protesting something like, say, against Iran or something. I mean, the minute that you step on that field, your chances are you'll probably be tortured at some point. There's no messing around. But
Tell
I
you
know
what,
there's going to
man,
be
the-
some
the
meathead
French
that's going to pull it
goalie-
off.
French goalie Hugo Lloris. He
Yeah.
said he's the captain,
Yeah.
and he said he won't be wearing the rainbow armband because some of them wear the rainbow armband for the captaincy to
Oh.
also support gay
yeah.
rights. But he
Uh-huh.
said he wouldn't do that in Qatar.
Oh, no?
And
Out
the
of fear?
and the media a little bit blasted him.
Blasted
he
him.
said, "Look, I'm going over there, so I'm going to respect the people over there, and I'm not going to do something like that." And he just wants to stay out of controversy. But actually, man, I think he gets in more controversy
Yeah.
because people here.
Yeah,
so,
maybe here.
anyways,
Maybe
I
here,
could
Freddie,
say,
but
if
over
he
there.
says, hey, I'm afraid because these people don't play, I'd be like, all right, fair enough. But if he's saying, oh, I want to respect them going into the... I mean, there's certain things you respect, and there's other things you go, hey, you're actually wrong about this, you know? And
Yeah, dude,
when
but
when
you
it comes
don't have
to
much
the
of a
gay
voice
rights
to
and
say
stuff,
that.
I don't think that's like a... I think they're just wrong. You know?
Listen, dude,
I
there's
don't think
no
it's
free
a
speech
debate.
there, man.
It's not a debate. They're just wrong about you can't jail
What was
and
wrong
murder
is giving
people
them the
for
World
who
Cup.
they love. That's fucked up. That's not cool.
What was wrong was giving them the World Cup. There's a lot of human rights issue, not only on the gay issue, on slave labor, things like that. That is awful.
Listen, the stadium is made out of like shipping containers, and all accommodations are shipping containers. That says it all.
Sounds like a mess.
Something
It
weird
really
about
sounds bad. I saw that documentary on Netflix about FIFA and how they give the World Cups to people and how the bids work and everything. It is some shifty business. Shifty business. Really bad. And I don't. Especially the way Qatar got this whole thing. Shifty. It's all shifty. It's all a game.
It's all money, man.
It's not
it's
good.
All money,
FIFA.
dude.
I don't like it. I don't like it so much.
The next one is here in North America, and
that's
Canada's getting a couple of games.
Yeah, but we
Not
opted
much, but
out.
we're
Montreal opted out.
For real? Oh.
Yeah, no games in Montreal. I think the mayor
no games in
said,
Montreal.
no, we don't want
blew
games.
it, man.
Why would
They're
we want
stupid,
World
man.
Cup games?
They're so stupid. We used to have
It's
we
amazing.
did different types of World Cups. The U17 World Cups. We had the Women World Cup. I mean, it brought on a lot of fans. It was exciting. It was fun. And you have an opportunity to be on a world stage, especially Montreal, like one of the first places for soccer. We and we have a professional soccer team, and you say no. That shows you how stupid our governing bodies are here at in Quebec, on Montreal level, on provincial levels, whatever. I mean, we still have a problem with jiu-jitsu, so go figure that. No soccer, no jiu-jitsu. But Toronto will have a game, so I say, you know what, Freddie, let's make our way to Toronto. I'd love to go see a game. I don't care who it is.
Sorry, hang on. I think I was blaming the mayor. It was not the mayor. It was actually the provincial government.
The mayor's still involved. She could have
No.
put on her
I
foot
think
and,
she
really
wanted the
pushed it.
soccer. I know she was involved
Are you
in
sure
what was going
about
on.
that?
No, I'm checking the story right now. I just need to double check because I don't want to. It was.
You don't want to diss her.
Yeah, I don't think it was the mayor. It was actually the provincial government who withdrew support to give money. They don't want to give money.
They're fools, like I said, man. Like, they're the same guys that are disallowing jiu-jitsu in Quebec. I mean, come on. Does it make sense? They don't.
Yeah.
C'est pas normal, as they say in France.
No, see, the mayor of the city wanted the games. The provincial government didn't want to give money. So the Quebec government, the CACs, another reason to dislike those people.
The cocks.
Awful. Yeah, that's why we're not getting World Cup games in Montreal. Because
A bunch of cocks.
I mean, why would they do anything good for Montreal? It's not surprising. They don't care about Montreal.
Well, we still have our Putin, man. That's a good sign.
Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? It's a government for the rest of Quebec, not for Montreal.
It's ridiculous,
That's how
man.
they
I don't
operate.
know.
They don't give a fuck about us.
Yeah. Then they wonder why tourism is not at its
Yeah,
highest.
exactly. They're garbage. Garbage, man. No World Cup here.
Sad.
Thanks a
Anyways,
lot.
I say we pack up.
Legos.
I say we pack up and go to Toronto, man. Go see Antoinette, the crew over there, man.
Yeah, we should go.
And we should do a ringside report and retreat, man. And see whoever. I don't care who's playing.
Maybe. All right. What do we got here,
So,
guys? We should talk about MMA.
oh, yeah.
This is an MMA
That's
show,
our show.
technically.
That's true.
I know we're talking about baseball and soccer for some reason. But
Well, it's okay, man. It's all ties in, man.
yeah.
Sport.
Does it?
Sort of, man.
Israel Adesanya lost last weekend, guys. We watched it. We did the watch along. It was a lot of fun. It was a crazy UFC pay-per-view. People are calling it one of the greatest pay-per-views of all time.
I agree.
It was awesome.
It's up there, man. It's
was
hard
great.
to say. There's so many good pay-per-views, man. But this one had something there's always that unexpected, and this one delivered. UFC 281 was if you watched our watch along, you could see all three of us. We were flipping out with Israel's fight. I mean, man, oh man. Listen, somebody was telling me, AJ, I wish I would have put down some money on Pereira in the 5th round because the payout was insane. Sure, he was on his way to a loss, man. For him to win at that point was by a knockout or a submission, which wouldn't have happened, but shit happens, man. And you know what? I feel I was in a debate with someone today, on the Israel, on the Israel loss, and it was a shame because He thought Israel was winning. In fact, he was actually listening to our watch-along. He was driving, and he tuned into our watch-along because he couldn't see the fight, and he was hearing it, and he actually listened to our Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva fight. So this guy listens to our podcast a lot. So
Okay.
he told me, he says, listen, man, Israel was winning. Yeah, he was winning. There's no doubt about it. He was winning, and the last 3 minutes, he blew it. I still think as soon as I saw him throw that kick from a distance, there was no reason for him to throw that kick. He should have just coasted there. He was in the winning circle. But remember, Dave, I said once he threw that kick and he stepped back and he did a double skip and then he rolled, I said he hurt himself. Something happened to him. He got hurt because as soon as that happened, he rolled out. He got pressed up against the octagon, and he couldn't move away. He couldn't circle away. He was standing on one leg.
So he explained that in the post-fight press conference. I don't know if you saw, but he said that it was the calf kicks that had just kind of accumulated over the fight, that when he threw the kick, he just kind of, his foot was kind of
But watching the
numb.
replay, Pereira did check it well. Like, he checked it with his knee. So that could not have felt good, man. That's definitely something that didn't feel good for
No,
Adesanya.
absolutely. But that's what I was saying, Freddie. When he stepped back, you can see that he did a skip. It's like it's a skip of pain, and he rolled out to get away from that environment. It's an immediate, danger, and he was in pain. It was enough that he couldn't circle out of the octagon when he was pinned up against it. Usually he can, you could see that he was able to bob and weave with the punches thrown, but once the knees were thrown and the clinch was too tight, he couldn't circle out. He was in pain. For sure, those calf kicks cost him the game. But that's why I'm saying is that you have 3 minutes left in the 5th round. You're winning the fight. You don't have to be creative. You don't have to do anything more than just push kicks, keep the guy at distance, circle the ring. You're winning it anyways. There's no reason to commit. And we saw that a lot. We saw that with Usman. We saw that with Israel. We have two guys that if they fight again, I will pick them. I don't see how Pereira, he got away with this win. A lot of people saying, yeah, he was pressuring him, this and that. Yeah, sure, he was pressuring him. But on the scorecard, Israel was winning the fight. And if it went down to the decision, Israel won it. No doubt about it. If they fight again, what I'm saying? I'm going with Israel still. I Pereira didn't impress me. He was resilient. He was durable. He has heavy hands. He's got heavy kicks. But I'm telling you, it's just a shame of a loss for Israel, just like it was for Usman. And I think when these two guys fight again, they're going to be winning. There's no doubt about it.
Now,
he did not impress me.
I'm not sure. Because for Adesanya, there's got to be something mentally there. And for Pereira. Pereira has now defeated him in fights 3 times. Twice in kickboxing, once in MMA to take his title away. Pereira comes in here and he did what he needed to do. And when he puts that pedal to the metal and he goes for it, ooh, man. What are you going to do? When in the 5th round when Pereira's coming at you and he's throwing those heavy bombs, I don't know what Adesanya can do. And if Pereira starts to put it on him earlier in the fight, maybe he stops him earlier next time. I'm not sure. I think Pereira might have his number.
Yeah, well, but you know what? He looked gassed, man. Sorry, Freddie.
He attacked him perfectly at the perfect time. Once he heard him, he jumped on the opportunity. But for the rest of the fight, Adesanya looked pretty much in control. We all agreed that Adesanya was up on the scorecard, maybe 4-0, 3-1 or 4-0. So in the rematch, man, I would expect Adesanya to probably not make the same mistake and get caught and, do the same thing he did for the first 4 rounds. So I think I would probably pick Adesanya. But, yeah, there is something about Pereira having his number and not backing down. To come out at the 5th round and go for that finish is a lot of props on him, man. That guy's a killer. And look, man, 7 fights in MMA and he's a champion. That's rare. That's Brock Lesnar level.
Yeah. This guy's scary. He's dangerous.
He went after a wounded animal. That's what it was, Freddie. In my opinion, he saw Israel was hurt. He saw a wounded animal, and he took advantage of it, which was incredible. He did everything he could because he had 3 minutes. All he had to do was stoppage, TKO, KO, whatever. He laid it all on the line. I got to give Pereira a lot of credit for being able to give it his all. He knew he had Israel wounded. And that's what the shame is. I think Israel didn't have to be as creative. He just needed to coast in the last minutes, and it cost him. That kick cost him.
Yeah, but sometimes you can't coast. Sometimes you get caught coasting.
Yeah,
and he may have got caught
Usman.
coasting. I don't think that's what he was doing. I think, that's just how the fight was going. That's just, how it happened. Pereira, his corner did a hell of a job pumping him up. I don't know if you guys saw that, but the corner was like, come on, you go out there, 5 minutes, you're world champion, let's go, let's do it, and really in his face. And then he goes out there and he gets it done. Like, very impressive stuff from Alex Pereira. And I think that if they fight again, we might see a similar outcome. We might see Pereira more aggressive. Pereira didn't look beat up at the end of that fight. He looked all right.
Yeah. I feel they should fight again. I feel that's the match that should be done at middleweight. Adesanya has been such a good champion. He was leading on the scorecards. This is the rematch that should happen.
Yep.
And I see some guys like Khamzat coming out, and now all of a sudden Khamzat wants to fight back at 185. And I'm like, yeah, bro, man, who have you defeated at 185? And I don't know. Like, I don't like guys. They're trying to pick because they think Pereira is a good matchup. And that's probably right for Khamzat. But for right now, I want to see the rematch with Adesanya. And if Khamzat wants to challenge, fight somebody at 185.
Yeah. I don't think Khamzat's really an issue at 185 pounds right now. Right? I mean, who did he just beat? He was supposed to fight Nate Diaz. He came in way overweight for that. They had to reshuffle the whole card. And then he fought Kevin Holland, and he beat Kevin Holland pretty easily. But Kevin Holland's now fighting at 170 pounds, and Kevin Holland wasn't top 10 at 185 pounds. So you're right, Fred. Khamzat's going to have to do a little bit more to be in the conversation for a middleweight title shot. I don't know what Khamzat's doing right now. I think a big middleweight fight for Khamzat would be great, but I don't know who's out there for him.
I think he should fight Colby at 170, man. Do another shot at 170. That's what he wanted. Khamzat said he wanted to fight at 170 still, so I think that probably makes sense. If it's 185, no problem, but you're not getting the champ right away, man.
Yeah, I think Colby is the fight to make. Colby, if Khamzat can make 170. And that's an if at this point, right? Because it's not like he missed by 1 or 2 pounds, man. He missed by, 8 pounds? What did he miss by? It was a ton.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, can he even make it? I'm not sure. We'll see. So for sure, Adesanya versus Pereira is the next fight. You got to do that. There was talk of doing Dustin Poirier versus Beneil Dariush, but now Poirier's saying he doesn't want to do that. I don't know what Poirier wants to do. Poirier wants big fights,
Did Poirier
big names.
ask for that?
Yeah, but then he went on MMA fighting and he said he wasn't so interested
He
in it.
realized it's a bad matchup.
Yeah, realizes it's a bad matchup and there's not a lot of money behind it. Not a lot of people care about that. Because Dariush doesn't have the biggest name. And that's the problem at 155. There's a bunch of guys that don't have big names but are really good at fighting. And then there's a bunch of guys with big names that are kind of crowding the top of the division just fighting each other.
Chandler versus McGregor would make sense. Chandler calling out McGregor. I think Chandler right now is becoming a star. And he's lost a couple of fights. So if you're McGregor, you got to think like, hey, I got a shot against this guy. He's beatable. But, man, he's dangerous, man. That fight was incredible.
Oh, yeah.
And we were wondering after the fight, like, why was Dustin Poirier mad? And looking back at it, man, I could see why he was mad a bit. Like, Chandler did have a couple of moments that seemed a little bit cheap. A couple of shots behind the head, fish hooking, blowing his nose on top of it. That one, maybe I could give him a break because, I mean, look, man, you need to – You need to unclog your nose to breathe, right? And if the guy's under you, he's under you. But that was an incredible fight, man. Super action-packed. And Poirier comes out a winner, but without really anywhere to go. Whereas Chandler versus McGregor, man, that makes sense, man. That's a fun fight, I think.
Yep. Even though he lost, he still won because he took fight of the night, if I'm not mistaken. And that's the thing with Poirier, man. I said it. I knew Hot Sauce was able to take it, but it came close, man. There was a few times he could have actually won it in the earlier rounds. But one thing with Chandler, he's so dangerous, man. He just kept going and kept going and kept going. And that's what people want to see, that even if you lose, I always say that as a fighter, even if you lose, make yourself look good. Lose good. You know, and we've seen that with a lot of fighters, man. Clay Guida is one of them, man. Even if he loses, he's so exciting that people still want to see him. And he still packs a good amount of eyes to watch him fight. And Chandler is one of those guys. And I agree with you, Freddie. I think Chandler against Conor, right now, the size of Conor, the way where he's at makes sense. That would be a crazy fight. That would be a pay-per-view fight for sure. Like obviously with another headliner. But it would be insane. I think that's the fight to make. We've seen the Poirier thing. If he fights Chandler and beats Chandler, then I can see Conor going back after Poirier. You know what I mean? I can see that happening. But if he needs to get through Chandler, that's the first thing that needs to happen. And then we'll see where Conor goes from there. But right now, man, every time I look at Conor and I see his updates, holy smokes, he looks like the Incredible Hulk. This guy
he looks big. He looks too big to make 155 again, right?
It's impossible, dude. He looks like a 185er, if not even more.
And he's not.
He looks huge, man.
He's also not in the USADA testing pool, so he's going to have to get drug tested by USADA for 6 months before they can even entertain a Conor comeback fight. So who knows?
Damn, but right now, man, he looks jacked to the gills. I mean,
so
it's
speaking
scary.
Of big fights, right? Speaking of big fights, that was an odd question. Let's address that question first.
Paul.
Shout out to everybody that renewed their membership. We're seeing a lot of membership renewals. Thank you for staying with the Ringside Report Network.
Guys.
If you're not a member already, join.ringsidereport.net, join.ringsidereport.net. Joey the Artist, a newcomer. Welcome, Joey.
Joey.
What's your opinion that Muslim fight dominating UFC, Khamzat Islam and Alex Pereira and Bilal? Is Alex Pereira? Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know. I think he's asking if Muslim, what's our opinion that Muslim fighters are doing so well in the UFC?
They are. Dagestan, one word.
I hadn't made that connection.
I have. I told you that from the beginning, man.
I made the connection of Dagestan guys, because they're all like a crew of guys from the same region, but I hadn't realized that there were so many Muslim fighters doing well. I mean, there's a lot of Christian fighters. You know, you hear a lot of those guys talk about Jesus and stuff. There's a lot of religious people in MMA, and I don't know. I don't really have an. I honestly don't have an opinion. I think it's fine if they want to be Christian, Muslim, religious, whatever you may want to be.
Listen, I'll give my opinion. I said Dagestan is the new Brazil, man. They're coming out with like amazing fighters in Eagle FC, all the way to Abu Dhabi and all the rest. I mean, there is such a deep pool of fighters coming out of the Team Khabib and all the rest. Like we look at Islam, we look at so many of these fighters that are dominating. Yeah, they're Muslim fighters with great coaches behind them and great skills. And you know what? They're dominating in my opinion.
And you know who's fighting this Saturday night? Muslim Salikov.
Man, there's another one.
So there's a guy. It's his name, Muslim Salikov. So there you go. I thought he was asking about Muslim Salikov at first, Joey the Artist. Thank you for the question, Joey. Guys, Dana White says that John Jones is going to fight next year.
Oh, yeah, right.
Dana White is saying this, okay? And that the Stipe fight, he doesn't know about Stipe. Maybe Stipe is going to retire, whatever. Dana White seems to want to make John Jones versus Francis Ngannou.
What?
Is the fight. That is the fight that Dana White was talking about at the post-fight press conference on Saturday night. And I said, what? John Jones and Francis Ngannou.
Listen, I'm going to say this, Dave. They better make that fight in either January or February, one of the big pay-per-views of the year. Right off the bat, you got John Jones.
They were at the gym together this week.
Really?
Were they?
Yeah, ESPN shared a video where they're smiling together. They trained together this week.
So what the hell?
Listen, man, I keep saying it all the time. I think I'd rather see John Jones fighting Cyril Gane before Ngannou. Set him up with Cyril Gane. If he can handle Cyril Gane, then I'll have a lot more confidence against Ngannou. But right now, man, we don't know how John Jones is going to be. He's been out of the game for 3 years. He moved up to heavyweight. We really don't know how big of a heavyweight he really is and how good is he fighting. I mean, it's like we have no footages of him training other than doing weightlifting and things like that. Like, hey, the footages. And I'm saying is, what did I say?
You just say footage. I think the plural of footage is footage.
Yeah.
It's not footages.
AJ can't even, like, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. But all I can say is this, is that John Jones, man. Like if you have that much confidence to go up against Ngannou right now?
Well, if John Jones has the confidence and Dana White has the confidence, I mean...
I'm sure he does.
Why not? Look, of course there are a lot of questions.
Is he confident on re-signing Ngannou?
I don't know. There are a lot of questions
right now.
Well, maybe part of the re-signing is, hey, I'm going to offer you this big fight, and you're going to get pay-per-view points by fighting John Jones, and maybe it'll be a kind of an easy fight because the guy hasn't fought in 3 years, and he's a light heavyweight moving up in weight. But he is John Jones. He is possibly the greatest fighter we've ever seen. He has spent several years bulking up, and he's undefeated. So I think it's a tough fight for him because of the time off, because he's never fought at heavyweight, because Ngannou is so huge, because Ngannou is a tough fight for anybody at heavyweight. Anybody. Not just John Jones, but anybody. But look, I think that it's not really up to, whether we think or what the betting line is going to be. It's like, do you want to see this fight? I think we all do. I think we'd all be very interested in seeing this fight. Will it sell pay-per-views? And are both parties interested? Will it make money? This is the fight business, and I think that the fight will make a lot of money. You put John Jones, Francis Ngannou, one-on-one, the return of John Jones, heavyweight championship of the world, whew, that's a big pay-per-view, right?
100%.
Now, we may think Francis will win, and that's all well and good, but, we all thought Israel was going to win, so what the hell do we know? Right?
Listen, I'm going to tell you
Fred,
something.
Didn't you pick Pereira? Fred picked Pereira, didn't he?
Yeah, I had Pereira.
Yeah. Sorry. AJ, you and I were wrong. Fred's always right.
Listen, we were right up to the
But Fred, you know what I'm saying? Like, we may think John Jones will lose the fight. We may think it's a tough first fight at heavyweight for anybody. But Francis is so dangerous. Like, what the hell, man? The fight's going to make money. Do it.
Oh, yeah. And listen, Dave, hear me out on this. Hear me out. You start 2023 with a John Jones versus Ngannou, and you have on the same card, you have Conor versus Chandler. Now, that is a way to start the year. That's the way you do it.
Spread it out.
It's not a waste. You don't spread those two guys. You put them right there, man, because you have so many talented guys behind you.
They would never do that.
Man.
It would never happen.
I'm telling you, man.
I'm telling you, man. It would be fun for you, I'm sure, but it's not smart. They won't.
I just saw a comment coming in with Stipe. Stipe, in my opinion, I don't think
Stipe... It seems like Stipe may never fight again. I think he's got injuries and just kind of wear and tear, and he's getting older, and I think that the time, yeah, I think the time has kind of passed, and Stipe may never fight again. That seems to be the way the UFC is headed. I mean, Dana White was asked about Stipe, and he kind of said, I don't know, Stipe may never fight again. I'm not sure. We're looking to do Jones and Ngannou, Yeah.
Look, not to take it away from Stipe. Stipe, an amazing fighter, man. Former champion. He has everything, and he has a career as a firefighter. I mean, this guy has so much money coming in from endorsements, representing Modelo Beer, doing all kinds of stuff for the community. The guy is so active, but the problem is, it's not a good fight to go up against a guy like John Jones. I don't think it's an ideal fight for Stipe to win. I think you know what? I haven't seen much footage of Stipe training or really talking about wanting to fight anybody. I think Stipe is going to retire. He's going to officially announce that once John Jones comes in and Stipe is not on the card. I think we're going to see Stipe pulling away from the UFC. He's already done it, man. We haven't seen anything up to this point.
I'll take John Jones over Francis Ngannou. It's John Jones. Who are you to doubt John Jones?
Dude, at heavyweight, we haven't seen him fight in 3 years,
That's who
man.
he is.
Yeah.
He doubts John Jones.
Yeah, that's all he does. It's one of his things. It's one of your gimmicks.
Man, I'm telling you, the picogram guy at heavyweight, he better be doing a lot of rails of cocaine because he's not going to beat Ngannou. There's no way, man.
The picogram guy. My God, that was a lot in one. That was a lot. The
Rails of
picogram
cocaine.
guy, heavyweight, cocaine. Like, what the hell was that? I don't even
I'm
know.
telling you, man.
My God.
That's what's gonna happen,
Sometimes-
man.
Sometimes
John
I don't even
Jones!
know. All right.
Listen, man. Until we see him in the octagon, I don't have faith. Dana White probably wants it because it'll bring money. But I'm telling you, if you don't get it signed, it's not going to happen. Sign these guys. Put Conor and Chandler on the same card. And I'm telling you, man,
that's not
2023
happening.
is going to be insane.
I like that you don't have faith in John Jones when he's been
I do have faith in John
successful
Jones, but not after
The
in
greatest
every-
years.
Yeah, he's
But
the
not
best
in heavyweight,
ever.
dude.
He
Think
wins
about the
every
guys that
fight
are
he
up there.
has. My God.
Well, you know, Dominic Reyes, people can say, like, you know, I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out. I'm just throwing it out, Dave.
yeah.
It's questionable.
It's
You know what I mean?
John Jones
Like-
said something like, maybe Dominic Reyes' problem is that he thinks that he beat me. And that might be AJ's problem, man. That's why you can't get any good predictions no more, AJ. It's because you
Listen, if John
think.
Jones was in front of me, I'd probably tell him, yeah, you won, dude. For sure, hands down. As long as
did
he
win.
doesn't hear any of this clip, man, I'm okay.
He for sure won. And Dominic Reyes hasn't won a fight since, and he's been knocked out
He's
in
looked
every
bad.
fight.
Yeah, I think he's done. I think his career is done.
Yeah.
You know, looking at this point,
Crazy.
you know, John Jones still has to fight in the game.
he
Dominic
cursed him.
Reyes has to. I'm
John
telling you,
Jones
man,
put
Dominic
the
Reyes-
curse on him.
Yeah, he did, man. And I feel for Dominic Reyes, super nice guy, man. You know, he had a good career, but man, his last fight, it was scary. It's his third loss, if I'm not mistaken, Dave. I think he's probably going to get released, man. And in fact, I think Dana White would do him a favor because he can't step into the octagon again. He has zero jaw, man. Like, you got to step away.
Are you guys ready for another Nurmagomedov world champion? Because he's coming tomorrow night.
What?
It's coming.
Huh?
Another
Really?
Nurmagomedov world champion will be crowned tomorrow night. His name
Bellator.
is Usman Nurmagomedov.
Oh, Usman,
He's 24
yes.
years old, and he is a minus 660 favorite over Patricky Pitbull, longtime Bellator champion,
Wow.
legend of Bellator. Patricky Pitbull.
Some disrespectful odd.
Yeah, well, I mean, Nurmagomedov is looking like the real thing. He's undefeated, crushing everybody in true Nurmagomedov style. I think he's Khabib's something.
It's his,
cousin.
it's his first cousin.
He's a younger brother.
Khabib's dad. It's the uncle.
He's his
It's the uncle.
brother. No, he's his brother.
You're saying that it's his uncle, man.
Oh,
The
no,
cousin
wait.
of retired
Cousin.
legend
He's a
Khabib.
cousin of Khabib.
Yeah,
I thought it was his
It's
brother.
his first cousin.
He's a brother
Yeah.
of Umar Nurmagomedov,
Yeah.
who fights in the UFC, I think. Umar.
Still,
Man,
man,
there's
he's
a lot
fighting
of
for his uncle.
Nurmagomedovs. They're all fighters, the whole family.
You know what? The Joey, man. There you go. Here's another one, man. It is like a Muslim.
These guys are
like,
the
domination.
best. These guys are the best.
They are, man.
Usman
Listen,
Nurmagomedov. You got a mix of Kamaru Usman and Khabib. He's 24 years old. He's 15-0. This guy's crushing it. 8 knockouts,
Man.
5 submissions, only 2 wins by decision. This guy is beating everybody and finishing them. And he's fighting
Ooh, I like
Patricky
his-
Pitbull.
I like his T-shirt. He has a picture of Khabib's dad. When I'm looking at the Bellator MMA, and at the top it says AJ Force. He wins. He wins my heart.
I mean,
Listen,
Patricky
man,
Pitbull's no joke, but Usman Nurmagomedov, it seems like a lock, right? These guys,
Well, I'll be watching this.
it's what they do. They become world champions.
Listen, man. They're fighting bears at 6, 7, 8 years old, man. I mean, these guys, you know, it's a different breed, man. And I'm happy for that part of the world because now they have money coming into a sport that they've been doing for absolutely like nothing. It doesn't matter if it was wrestling, sambo, you know, even jiu-jitsu. You know, now you can start making money, man. Khabib is investing a lot of money in the sport in Dagestan, and you can see, man, look at the teams he's creating, man. It's crazy. Khabib
I mean, their
is so
team
dangerous.
could be the lightweight champions in Bellator and the UFC, right? They're going to
Oh, yeah.
hold lightweight
Oh, yeah.
championships in the 2 biggest, you know, I mean, PFL's out there too, but 2 of the biggest organizations in all of MMA, the UFC and Bellator. And that's major.
So let's get
Crazy.
some family drama so that we get Makachev versus Nurmagomedov.
Yeah.
How do
Nah,
we
it
start
won't. It
that?
won't happen. It won't happen, man. It won't happen.
They are ruling the MMA world, these guys. Team Khabib. I mean, Khabib was one of the greatest fighters ever, retires, and now may be the greatest coach of all time. At this point, he's getting close to it, and if he continues doing what he's doing with this team, more and more guys on this team, they're a huge team. There's so many guys. He may be the greatest MMA coach ever.
And he's so young, too. And that's the thing. He's only been retired for how long now? 3 years?
And he can get in and work out with you and make you better. You know, when you're working out every day with Khabib, Khabib's not sitting around. He's working out, too.
No. He's going hardcore on you, man. And that's the difference why he's going to become, well, I think one of the greatest coaches right now. But you're right. He's able to engage. He's in there with you. He knows the game, man. And that's the thing.
And you trust what he's saying. You trust what he's saying to you because he figured out MMA in a way that no one else had before, right? Khabib beat the game better than anybody else. You know, like he was able to just take very little damage and win consistently. You know what I'm saying? And Islam fights the same way, and Usman fights the same. Like they all fight that way where they have incredible pressure, they have incredible wrestling, their top game is ridiculous, their control is ridiculous, and they just finish you up. And it's not super complicated, but it's beautiful to watch, and it's unstoppable. Like they just have this thing, and they all have it.
It's crazy,
and you got to believe in Khabib and what he's doing because he showed everybody, hey, this is how you do it. This is how you win MMA. You know, he showed everybody in MMA should be trying to do what Khabib does, right? I don't think there's been enough copycatting of Khabib. You know, I mean, we're seeing guys from that region, but I feel like more guys should be just trying to be like Khabib. You know, that takedown, top control wrestler style where you just take a guy down where he can't hurt you at all. You're on top of him. You control him. And then you find a way, and you beat him up, and then you submit him. Like, if you could just do that in every fight, which seemed like what Khabib could basically do to anybody, right? Like, if you could, and Islam's the same way. They have this style that's just unstoppable. They figured out MMA. I'm telling you. Super chat. It's like beyond. It's another level of mixed martial arts. Fred, you see what I'm saying here? I'm right.
You know, you are right, but you know what the crazy part is?
Fred thinks I'm wrong.
I mean, GSP was the first one maybe to figure that plot out. And, you know, it evolves and guys get better at it.
Come on, Freddie. What team has he created, man?
But and I'm all for the Khabib love, man. Great fighter, great legacy, etc. I mean, there's other guys also that have had better careers than Khabib.
But I'm saying the path to victory, knowing how to win. The guy was undefeated, unstoppable, and he just figured out this great path to victory.
2 title defenses.
Yeah, but he could have had more. I mean, he could have had more, Fred.
He did.
Yeah, he didn't. But I think if Charles Oliveira stepped in there next against Khabib, Khabib would have done to Oliveira what he did to everybody else. What Islam did, you know?
100%.
Charles was ready to step up. Khabib wasn't.
Because he retired. He didn't want to do it anymore because he told his mom he didn't want to. I don't know.
And Freddie, who cares, man?
Khabib's great, man.
Khabib had to start this team. He knew Khabib was so great at MMA, but he knew that without his father around, the team needed somebody because this team that he has is the dream team. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like, look, my career is really important, but my dad died, so I have to take over this team because these guys are ridiculously good and they need a leader, and I'm the only guy that can do it now. I think that's what he did. He stepped aside and he was like, look, this team is more important than my little MMA career because one career is fine, but you know, one guy becoming a multimillionaire is cool, but how about everybody becomes a multimillionaire on the team, you know? Like, and that's what he's starting to create. Yeah, well, that's it.
He's the Gracies.
Yeah.
Gracies.
Yep.
And that's the thing. And you know what? Listen, you know what, Freddie? You know what? GSP was up there and everything, but like again, I'm gonna say is that GSP doesn't have a team to back him up. Khabib has something, and Dave said it well, man. He stepped in as a leader because the dad wasn't there anymore, and now is his time to give back, and he does. And you can see what he's creating. And this is only 3 years after retirement.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? 3 years. Imagine what we're gonna see Khabib in about 10, 15 years with all these kids that have a goal now. They have a reason, and these guys are not only fighting for the money. They're fighting for the pride. They're fighting for the community. They're fighting for the religion. They're fighting for everything. And that's why they're the new Gracies. Dagestan is the new Brazil, man, and Khabib is the new Gracie, man, and that's what it is, man. It's incredible. I tip my hat to him, and he's a real leader, man, and it shows. It doesn't matter what fighting league you're in. One of Team Khabib is in there. He's one of the top contenders.
Yep, it's pretty impressive what
Scary,
they're doing
man.
over there. So Bellator 288 going down tomorrow night. I guess we're all picking Usman Nurmagomedov over Patricky Pitbull, unless Fred wants to go against it. No? Corey Anderson and Vadim Nemkov is their main event for their light heavyweight championship. So that'll be fun. They had a no contest. It was a headbutt. They had to end the fight back in April, so they're going to do the rematch here. Anderson and Nemkov. Yeah. Nemkov coming in as the underdog, plus 195. Corey Anderson, minus 230. All right. That's Bellator 288 tomorrow night. And then we have UFC Vegas 65 on Saturday. Derek Lewis
Black
taking on
Beast,
Sergey
man.
Spivak. What's happening with Derek Lewis? He's 37 years old, and it seems like he's been getting knocked out a bunch. 2 knockouts in a row. I don't know.
It happens. But you know what? This is a tough one to call, man. When you look at Spivak, he's 27 years old. But if you look at,
I don't think it's that tough. I'm going with Spivak.
Listen, what?
I mean, his
listen,
only
man, he
recent
got knocked
loss
out.
is against Aspinall. Aspinall's a solid fighter, so there's no shame losing
Yeah.
there. And he's defeated some decent opposition. And I think people – I don't like the word figure out Derek Lewis, but people will figure out how to stay away from that power punch. And if you're a decent fighter, man, you could beat Derek Lewis if you have some decent technique and all that. And I think Spivak does. So I'm going to go with Spivak winning either by TKO or by decision, one or the other.
Man, who has greater power, Freddie? The Black Beast? Or
yeah, of course. He's one of the most powerful
Walt
guys
Harris
in MMA, but I don't think he
Tom
connects
Aspinall.
that much no more.
But Walt Harris and Tom Aspinall knocked out Spivak. I mean, his chin is questionable. And I'm telling you, if the Black Beast unleashes, and we see him all the time, he can look like he's dying, and then he gets up and he throws that heavy right, and it's lights out. And I'm saying that, like, age is a factor here. Lewis 37, Spivak 27. You know, Lewis has a 1-inch reach advantage, but that's enough, in my opinion, to get the Spivak. Once he hits Spivak's chin, it's over. I'm going the opposite way. I'm going with the Black Beast. I think he's going to get it done again. Even though he's coming from a couple of losses, remember, Spivak got knocked out by Walt Harris.
Spivak got knocked out by Walt Harris. Okay. I'll remember that, AJ. I will never forget that. All right. I think Spivak's going to win too, though. I don't know. I just think Lewis has been knocked out a couple of times in a row, and Spivak has won by knockout a couple of times in a row. Lewis is 37. Spivak is 27. That wear and tear, you know, it takes everybody. Lewis has lost 3 of his last 4 at this point, but he is super dangerous. You know, you can't count him out because he's got that power, but I feel like his chin isn't standing up to the punishment that it used to. I feel like before, when he got knocked out, it would take way more than what it has in his past couple of fights. That Sergey Pavlovich fight didn't look good. His last fight here against Pavlovich, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I was a little bit. I was taken aback by Derek Lewis' performance in that fight. He got finished in 55 seconds. I was a little bit like, ooh, okay, that's you know, you see in the cracks, you know. So I'm going with Spivak. Unfortunately, I want to go at Lewis because I love him so much. He's so entertaining. He's been such a great fighter, so much fun to watch. But I think I got to go with Spivak. Minus 200, the favorite. Lewis plus 170. Makes me sad to go against Derek Lewis, but I feel like the Derek Lewis era is coming to an end.
It could be, Dave. You're right, man. And the one thing I can say is that, you know, with Spivak, if he takes the fight to the ground, which he's capable of doing, he has a 63% takedown accuracy. And when it comes to the grappling game, this guy is the polar bear. There's a reason. He has amazing wrestling, amazing grappling. He can submit Lewis. But He needs to take Lewis down. That's the only way I can see him beating Lewis. I think Lewis is going to knock him out. But if it gets to the ground, unfortunately, I'm going to have to start going towards Spivak.
All right. Co-main event for this one is Ion Cutelaba against Kennedy Nzechukwu. Nzechukwu is the favorite.
Nishikugugu.
Nzechukwu.
Nishikugugu.
I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know, man. This is going to be a...
This is not the best card, right? This is kind of like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, some of these fights could be good, but we got Waldo, Geraldo, Faldo. Should I do the Family
Faldo,
Matters song
Geraldo.
again? What the hell? He didn't. I thought he just fought.
Just don't do the full house because Candice Burray there, she's a little bit in controversy right now. So
Oh, yeah.
Why? What?
Yeah,
What
I
I
happened?
don't
saw
want
that.
to touch it.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Come
touch
on.
that.
No, let's not go there, actually.
I'm curious,
You
man.
never know what AJ might say.
Well, what do you hear, man?
Whoa, what's
You
wrong
piqued
with
my
that?
curiosity.
You know?
It's not, well, what's wrong with that?
Well, no, I mean, it's fine, I suppose. But it's like she's saying one thing, but also saying something else at the same time,
What?
you know?
Spit it out, man. You can't just leave everybody hanging, man.
She said she's got some show where she says she's going to be promoting what
Family values.
traditional family
Traditional
values or
family
something,
values.
Okay.
which basically means like just straight white people. I think.
No,
Is that not what it was?
Dave, that's not fair.
Okay, I don't know. I
The
was
straight
making a
part
joke.
is fair.
I was joking around. I don't know.
The rest of it is fair.
Which is not fair?
The straight part is fair.
Oh.
I don't think she cares about the rest of the part.
Oh,
but the
okay,
straight
okay. So
part,
they don't
she
have to
definitely
be
cares
white
about.
people necessarily, but they have to be straight on her show. Otherwise, no gay people on this show. Damn it! I don't know why she's Vince McMahon all of a sudden, but well, there we go.
I guess we're
Married to
that.
Valerie Bure, former Montreal Canadian.
Oh, yeah, man. Valerie Bure, man. Wow.
You see how interested we are in this UFC card?
Valerie Bure. Wow. I mean, well, that's impressive.
Ooh.
I got to look into this now.
Look into it. What are you looking into?
This girl, man, Valerie Bure.
What up,
is,
Angelo?
white. What's up, Angelo?
Shout out to Patrick C. Hamilton. Sorry, man.
What's happening, man?
Patrick C. Hamilton dropped a super chat before, and I didn't even acknowledge. I acknowledge
that's
you,
not
Patrick.
cool.
I'm very sorry about that. 777 from Patrick. He says, Grey Cup here this Sunday. Sorry to say I
Yep.
don't care. Grey Cup is
What?
this Sunday.
Yeah, man. Winnipeg versus Toronto.
Wow.
I'll
You
watch
know
once
Let's go,
they get a
Bombers.
fourth down.
You know who's in the Grey Cup. That's amazing.
Nope.
Well, AJ
This
knew.
Sunday, man. Yeah, my brothers, we're going to watch it.
You're going to watch it.
Of course, man.
Call me if there's a fourth down.
Listen, man, usually the CFL, man, Grey Cup is always exciting, man. It's always
Is it?
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and Muscle Marco used to try to do what we could to go watch as
There's a
many
Canadian.
games.
I read a Canadian quarterback that might play in the NFL next year. I forget who it is. I saw that pass.
Cool. Good for him. What is the halftime show for this thing?
Vanilla
Country
Ice.
Country All-Stars?
Tell me it's vanilla.
Jordan Davis, Tyler Hubbard, and Josh
You know these guys,
Ross.
Come on, Dave. They're all on Canadian Idol.
I think they're country music singers. One of them is Canadian, and two of them I think are American, possibly. I have no idea who these people are. That's a terrible.
Rihanna's
halftime show.
doing the Super Bowl one this year.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Rihanna.
Rihanna, yes,
Wow.
yes.
Didn't she just have a baby? She's got a Super Bowl halftime
know.
show? So busy. Amazing. Rihanna.
My
What a tremendous
Rihanna.
person she is. Yeah. Or maybe not. Maybe she's not so good. Oh, AJ, you would like her. But she did something recently. Rihanna got in trouble recently, didn't she? Because she had Johnny Depp
What?
pose in one of her like fashion things. She has like a clothing line or something, and Johnny Depp posed, I think.
So what, man? Johnny Depp, man. Free Johnny Depp.
Nah, he's a bad guy. Lock him
Johnny
up.
Depp, number
Lock
one.
him up. Lock him up.
Rihanna, I know Rihanna.
All right. So
Like, I always-
Name
Depp
one
was-
song. AJ, name one Rihanna song.
You know which one I'm thinking.
Which one?
You know the one, Dave. You always, you. If you play it, I'll be able to tell you nowadays. I go through this quiz all the time, man. I go, listen, man. You know how many people stop me and they're like, "Who's this?" Lucy, one of them too. Who's this? Is it Rihanna? And I'm like, Britney Spears, Rihanna. What's the other one that I always got confused? What's the one I always got confused with?
Oh,
Rihanna?
One of the performers is part of Florida Georgia Line, one of the country guys. I know those guys because they were on wrestling. I've never heard their music, but they were on wrestling a bit. I don't know why. They were like...
DJ!
I think they performed on wrestling on a wrestling thing years ago. Angelo would know what I'm talking about. Right? They were on Raw at some point. Florida Georgia Line. They kept pushing their music on wrestling, and I was like, who are these guys?
So Dave, if I tune in, am I going to see MJF win?
Of course.
He's winning?
Yes.
That's his first world title?
Yes. MJF has to win on Saturday.
I might tune in. He better, man, because if he doesn't, I might quit on wrestling.
Oh, you shouldn't.
What about Logan Paul? Is he going to win soon?
You know what AEW needs? AEW needs, MJF. They need a great Jewish champion. This is what we need in our world. Too much anti-Semitism out there these days. We need a great Jewish champion like MJF leading the AEW wrestling brand.
I'm scared to ask you if you saw the most recent
Mazel tov, MJF. Big mazel to you. What?
Matzo ball.
I'm scared to ask you if you saw the last Kanye videos.
Kanye, number one. What happened with Kanye?
Well, it's from a couple of days ago, I think, when he talks about his mom, things like that.
No, I didn't see that. Was it bad?
Okay. Yeah.
It's so bad, man.
Because
it's like
his mom,
all these guys.
They killed his mom.
Oh, God.
Just like they killed Bill Cosby's son.
Oh, my God. Is he blaming my people for that?
No, he's blaming, I think, I don't know, man. He might be talking in general or Hollywood or Illuminatis or whatever.
Oh, okay. If you can say Illuminati, that's fine. That's fine. But as long as you don't start talking about the Jewish people, it would be preferable. Kanye, thank you. I appreciate it.
But you're still buying shoes, Dave.
No, they don't make them anymore.
What?
Well, they dropped them. Adidas stopped making them. Adidas is like,
they're going to continue the design. Yeah. And I also read that he's still getting some money from that still.
Oh, yeah?
But, hey. Huh. Yeah, seems like it.
Yeah. I saw the Dave Chappelle thing. I was not amused. I was like, oh, boy.
Oh, Dave Chappelle. Funniest
ever. I didn't like it too much. I was not too happy about that. Let me tell you. Oh, God. It's a little scary.
But he's funny, man. It's Dave Chappelle.
He's not so funny anymore. I don't know. It's not that funny to me. I'm not amused. I am not amused. Ugh.
You don't believe it's a coincidence?
I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't want to go
that's
there.
From his skit.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think that was a little, it was a little, like at one point he's like, a group of black people you call a gang, and a group of Italian people you call a mob, and a group of Jewish people is just a coincidence, right? That's what he said? And it's like, well, what are you saying? Are you saying that there's a criminal conspiracy? Because I wouldn't call a group of black people a gang unless they were actually gang members, I wouldn't call a group of Italian people, like when I see AJ and his family, I don't say, oh, look at that mob. I say, oh, look at AJ and his family. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you could say that mob.
They're gangsters. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not. It was just an odd thing to say. I was like, oh, are you saying there's a criminal conspiracy here? I didn't get the joke. I didn't understand what he was trying to say. Anyways, I don't want to talk about Dave Chappelle. Fucking guy. It was just weird. I was like, funny. Oh. It was just a little odd. I was
That's
like,
not Kyrie Irving. I think we should end the show.
I like what Jon Stewart said about that. Jon Stewart made a really good joke. He said, you wouldn't expect it from a guy called Irving, which I thought was good.
That's good.
All right. Do we want to do parlays? Do you have a
Parlays,
parlay
of
for me
course.
before we go?
I'm struggling to find something to add to my Spivak fight, so I
Me
don't
too.
even know what to add to that one.
Just bet on Spivak and get it over with.
Yeah, I just
How
got
about
Spivak
Waldo?
winning.
Waldo Geraldo.
Yeah,
Hey, listen, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, but he'll
Is,
be all right.
Just to be clear, is Rodolfo Vieira still on the card?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, if he
You're
is,
putting me
I
on
mean,
the
okay,
spot
let's go.
here.
Let's
I don't
put
think
the
I
so.
parlay
don't
out.
see him.
No,
I don't see him.
he's not. Why was he supposed to be? He was
Yeah,
supposed
he's
to fight.
supposed to
You know,
fight
it was going to be a
Cody
lockdown for.
Brundage.
Yeah, it would have
it's
been a
not
win
happening.
for. Too bad. That was a submission right there, man, in the making. All right, let's pick our parlay, Dave.
Okay, I got a parlay for you. I got one for you here. Hold on. Let me see.
Brazil's winning the World Cup, by the way, Angelo.
Nah, it's
Brazil.
Portugal, my friend. Ronaldo,
Benny Jr.
number one.
I'm going
A la
with
Madrid.
France.
Portugal.
Brazil's got the best offense.
They do,
I
man.
got
They have
France.
a pretty solid team, man. France.
Shout out
Gotta
to
be hard.
DJ Bourne. What's up, DJ Bourne?
DJ, spin the record.
Okay, hold on. I got a parlay for you. I'm gonna give it to you. It's a Team Dave parlay on Bet99. Bet with us. Use the promo code Ringside.
We came close last week, man. We came close
I mean, I didn't.
until
really. I was wrong on a
until
bunch.
Burra had to ruin it for us.
I've been getting killed over the past couple of weeks, guys. It's not been going well. So
Say
let's
too
turn
loud,
it
Dave. I've
around.
been-
I was doing well for a while, and then shit went south.
Yeah. Well, you made
Sergey
a lot of money.
Spivak, minus 200. I'm going with him. I'm going with Waldo Acosta Geraldo over Chase Sherman, minus 217. And I'm going with Muslim Salikov, minus 113 over Andre Fiallo. $20, a
Nice.
3-fight parlay gets you 85.30 over at Bet99.com. That's a Team Dave parlay. 20 gets you 85.30. We're going with Salikov, Cortez Acosta, and Spivak. Freddie, what you got for me?
That's good.
I pretty much have the same thing as you do, man. But I don't know, man. I don't like that Waldo odd that much.
What are you
Take it
talking
out.
about? The Salsa King, man.
One
He's
fight
good, man.
parlay, man. Spivak.
That's not a
Spivak's
parlay.
winning.
That's not a parlay, Fred. One fight is. Give me something. How about this? Give me some props on the fight. Okay? Spivak. How about the will the fight go the distance? No, minus 900. Yes, plus 433.
No.
Okay? Spivak by KO plus 142. Spivak by decision plus 850. Spivak by submission plus 280.
KO. Spivak by KO. TKO.
Spivak round 1 plus 120, round 2 plus 350, round 3 plus 1100, round 4 plus 3000, round 5 plus 7000.
Round 2 makes sense.
Plus 350. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see here. What do we got? We got. Can I do this even? Is this a parlay?
Come on, Dave. Show it on
Yeah.
Bet99.
I'm trying to figure it out. Trying to figure out what this is. I think it's a weird parlay. Will the fight go the distance? No, minus 900. Winner, Sergey Spivak plus 142 by knockout. Sergey Spivak by knockout in round 2 plus 350. It's a combo, $20. Gets you 160.79. Total stake. No, 3. No, see, that's not a parlay. See, this is what I'm saying.
It's 3 singles. Yeah, it's 3
Hold
singles.
on. Parlay. Can I parlay it?
Come on, Dave.
Can I
Show the
not?
technology, man. Yeah, there you go.
I can't parlay it. I don't know how to
Damn it.
do this. Maybe I got to take some of these bets out. Maybe you can't parlay the... Oh, hold on. How about I just give you... No, still doesn't work. I guess you can't parlay the props for some reason? Sorry, guys.
Not sure.
Fred's
Shitty
taking...
card.
Just take those
Step your
single
game
bets.
up, Dana.
I don't know. I'm taking the single bets for Fred. Spivak round 2 plus 350, and Spivak by KO plus 142. AJ, do you have an actual parlay for me?
Yes, sir, man. Of
getting
course, I'm going
confused
with
here.
Derek Lewis, the Black Beast, for the win. I'm going
Okay.
against you guys. I think he's going to take out Sergey. If Walt Harris can do it, Derek Lewis is going to do it. I'm going to go with Ion Cutelaba for the win. I'm going to go with Salsa King Waldo for the win. Remember, he's 8-0, Freddie, and he's going up against Chase Sherman, 16-10. Then I'm going to go with Muslim. Another Muslim will win on Saturday night. Then I'm going to go with Jack Della Maddalena, who's pretty impressive, man. And that's it. That's my parlay right there. And I think it's a winning one, man. I can feel it.
A lot of underdogs there. A lot of underdogs. Let's see. AJ's got the underdog in the main event, Derek Lewis, plus 162. Underdog in the co-main event, Cutelaba, plus 142. Favorite here, Waldo Acosta, plus minus 225. Muslim Salikov, slight favorite, minus 113. And he's going with Della Maddalena. He's a huge favorite, minus 567. He should win. So that's $20. That'll get you $425.66 over at bet99.com. That's pretty good. There's
And you
Team
can get
AJ.
a parlay boost on top of it too, man. If you
Della
want.
Maddalena, Salikov, Cortez Acosta, Cutelaba, and Lewis.
I think that's a winner there, man. I can feel it.
You say that every week.
That's true.
Yeah.
Last week we were close, man. We were close.
No, you
You
weren't.
say that every week,
No,
too.
you weren't.
Yeah,
The same
everybody can't
record
believe
tonight,
Israel
and
lost.
We both missed 2 fights.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, we didn't do so well, AJ.
You were close.
I say I got killed last week.
You were
AJ
wrong
said he
on
was close.
Adesanya, and you were wrong on Frankie.
Hey, is the
Edgar.
glass half
That's not
empty or
close.
half full, man?
Well, I
Depends on
guess
how you
yours
look
is
at it.
half full and mine is half empty because I feel like I got killed and you feel like you were close. I think it's because
Listen,
I actually
man.
bet on my parlays because I believe in what I'm saying and you just kind of say things.
Listen,
so I
man,
feel it
I just
worse.
think Israel.
It's
listen,
more painful for me because I'm losing money.
Listen, man. Well, I was gonna say you can listen to AJ's parlay, but yeah, Israel lost as well.
That
So
wouldn't help.
yeah,
If it would, I would bet on it. But it
Meatball
doesn't
lost.
help.
Well, you lost with Meatball right off
I
the
lost
bat.
with
That was
everything.
like
I lost with
yeah,
no.
but
I lost
Meatball
with
was your first one.
it was
was
Ottman
Meatball,
who
man.
lost. Ottman lost.
Oh, Oddman, yeah, on
Yeah,
top of
yeah,
it. Then
yeah,
Meatball got
Oh.
destroyed. She
It
got
was
the
a
meatball
bad-
squished out of her.
Everybody I
It was
picked
a-
lost pretty much. It was bad. It was bad.
But regardless, it was like an amazing pay-per-view card. UFC 281, man. You know, going back to what I said before, when Israel fights Pereira next, he will win. When Usman fights next against Edwards, he will win. If these two guys made mistakes, they're winning. They should have coasted, and unfortunately they lost, man. That won't happen again. Just like Amanda Nunes, it won't happen again.
Well, we'll see. We'll see about that. Before we go, guys, we should talk a little bit about Anthony Rumble Johnson, who passed
Yeah.
away this week. Crazy, 38 years old. He was dealing with health problems. It was unclear exactly what was going on with Rumble. We still don't really know. But I saw a recent picture of him, a couple of months ago, where he was looking quite skinny, and apparently they were saying he's in poor health, but he's gonna fight out of it and be all right. And then we get the news this week that he passed away. It's just a shocking story.
Yeah,
A guy who
super
seemed
nice
so
guy.
healthy, so strong, and such a great fighter, all of a sudden, 38 years old, passes away. He fought for Bellator last year.
Yeah, I remember. And it's a shame. But the thing is, man, he used to go up and down weight, man. Heavyweight, lightweight, middleweight. I mean, he was up and down. I don't know how
He
these
was
guys
a
do it.
welterweight in the
He was a
UFC at
welterweight.
one point. He fought at 170 pounds in the UFC and wound up fighting at heavyweight at some point later on in his career. And then came
That's what
back
I'm
to the
saying.
UFC. Right, like he fought at welterweight, had a whole run at welterweight, had some trouble making weight at one point. Like he came into the UFC in 2007. He fought Rich
crazy.
Clemente
Jeez,
in
Rich Clement.
2007 for UFC 76. You know?
Wow.
I
Rich
remember him
Clement.
as being like a great prospect we saw at the beginning because he was cutting down to 170, and he used to make it at the beginning. It was crazy. Big guy cutting down all the way to 170, and he's had a great career, man. He has some wins against a lot of superstars. It's a sad
shame,
situation. Man. It came out this week that he was fighting non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and he also had, I'm going to butcher this, but he had hemophagocytic lymphohistiocytosis. Not sure. It's a blood disease, unfortunately.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
It's a shame, man. You know, it's been a tough year, man, for the UFC, especially guys in their 30s. I mean, we had Elias Theodoro, who passed away at 36. You know, you have Rumble Johnson, like, dying, you know, relatively young, man. It's just a shame, man, you know?
Sad.
It's
just
scary.
a shame.
It's scary. Great MMA career, man. Great MMA career. Beat Phil
Super
Davis.
nice guy, too, man.
Rogerio Nogueira, Alexander Gustafsson. I mean, when he came back, like, that's the thing. Like, he was a pretty good welterweight, and then he moved up to middleweight, and he couldn't make middleweight, so he got cut from the UFC after losing to Vitor Belfort. And then he went on a run at light heavyweight. He was just like, I can't cut all this weight anymore, and he got huge, and he fought at light heavyweight. He fought Arlovsky at heavyweight for a World Series of Fighting and beat him. Like, he left the UFC in 2012, and he was a 10-4 fighter, and then he won 9 in a row. He won a bunch of fights outside of the UFC, came back to the UFC, beat Phil Davis, beat Nogueira, beat Gustafsson. Then he fought for the world title, and he lost to Daniel Cormier. Like, this guy went on a crazy run. And then he lost to Cormier, comes back, beats Jimmy Manuwa, beats Ryan Bader, beats Glover Teixeira, knocks them all out, and then fights Cormier again for the belt. And Cormier beat him again. But, like,
what a career, man.
This guy had an incredible run at light heavyweight. That second run at light heavyweight was amazing. He was one of the best in the world, and then he just kind of disappeared in 2017. After losing to Daniel Cormier, he kind of stopped fighting and reemerged in 2021, fought once for Bellator, but, you know, there was a big gap there, and, of course, we know now what he was dealing with. He was dealing with that illness that eventually took his life. So rest in peace to Anthony Rumble Johnson. Very sad. Very sad. Anything else before we go, guys? Israel Adesanya got arrested for brass knuckles. He had brass knuckles. A fan gave him brass knuckles, and he brought him into an airport, and then they, I guess, briefly arrested him, and then he gave the brass knuckles back. He was like, oh, sorry. And it was fine.
Sucks, man. You know, pretty cool gift to get.
Rough week for Adesanya.
Yep, rough week, man. He'll get back
like a champ. Like in the post-conference, man, he didn't make any excuses. He accepted his loss. After that, I read about him saying that the stoppage was maybe a bit early, but in the end, man, he's a champion. He's gonna grow from this, and I can't wait for the rematch.
And of course, he's got that big paycheck at the end of the night too,
that
right?
helps.
Like after you fight, you know, it's payday. You know what I mean? And Adesanya's payday is pretty good. And he probably gets a cut for the pay-per-view because he's a world champion, and that pay-per-view, I'm guessing, did pretty well. So, like, it definitely stings to lose, but that giant paycheck at the end of the night has got to take away some of the sting, right? I'm sure Adesanya's. That's the thing. When you see these world champions that have been champion for a long time, when they lose, they don't seem that devastated. It's the guys that are trying to be world champion, and then they lose. Those are the guys that are devastated. The guys that fight to get the title contention, they fight for the championship, then they lose. Those guys are the guys that are crying, that are devastated. The champions that are champions, you know, for a few fights, you know, they defend the belt a couple of times. But when they lose, it's like kind of a relief, you know, and
I'll tell you what,
they're paid, so they're all right.
If Adesanya, like, he better take that rematch seriously, because if he loses again to Pereira, he becomes like Max Holloway that can't beat Volkanovski. He becomes, you know, that guy that just can't get to the top no more, maybe. Or
he becomes Robert Whittaker.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yep.
So
now he knows how Whittaker feels.
Important for his career.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it sucks because you go from legendary status to all of a sudden you have this Achilles heel that we've seen in so many fighters, man. You know, we talked about Anderson Silva with Weidman. Here it is with Pereira. He has 2 losses, and even those 2 losses, you know, if you watch the fights, like I said, in kickboxing, the first fight that they had, it was, some people gave it to Israel. It was like controversial loss. Second fight, Israel was beating him, and then he got knocked out in the second round. And here we are in an MMA fight. Israel was winning, going to the fifth with 3 minutes to go. You know, something happened to his knee with that kick. Something happened to that leg, and it was enough for Pereira to like pounce on him. And it's a shame, but I still think that there's going to be a lot of pressure on Israel. He needs to have that win, and if he's able to beat Pereira, he's going to go right back to where we set off as like one of the greatest fighters in the game. But right now, man, he has that cloud over his head.
Yes, I agree. Let me ask you guys something as just a final question. You see this Ticketmaster completely shut down because of Taylor Swift tickets. People are going all crazy for Taylor Swift tickets.
What?
You see this story?
Say what?
I
Taylor
think I
Swift.
read about it, but I don't know much about the story. I'll be honest.
I just seen people online going crazy about trying to get Taylor Swift tickets and how expensive
Why?
Taylor Swift tickets. There's like a whole frenzy over Taylor Swift. Am I missing something here? I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Ask DJ,
All right.
man. He's in the music
Not for
business.
us.
Like,
That's
how
it.
good is she?
We're all
She's
too
just
old.
very popular, and
Is
I'm
she as
just
good
like,
as Vanilla Ice?
I don't think so. I don't think she's as good
There
as
you go.
Vanilla Ice, man.
I don't think I
know.
can name a single Taylor Swift song.
No, me neither.
Like, if you sing
There
me
is.
one, I'll probably say, oh, I know this song, but
Something about breaking up or something. I remember that song.
yeah,
It was
for sure. Aren't
controversial.
they all like that? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not
They
for
always
us,
break up.
guys.
There's
Not
something
for
wrong
us.
with these girls. They're always breaking
yeah,
up,
she's
man.
the one.
They're making
She's the one
songs about
that's
it.
the meme that goes like sings about like she can't pick men, but then wants to tell you how to vote. She's the meme.
I see.
That's how I know Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's another Dr. Phil.
I just know Taylor Swift
right.
from Kanye taking the thing from her, being like, "All right, let you finish," but Beyonce had the greatest
Oh, is that the
video
one that he did
of all
that to?
time. Yeah, it was Taylor Swift. That's how I know her. I think that's how she
Good
got
for
famous.
Kanye,
No?
man.
I don't know. I don't get it. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks everybody for watching. Shout out to Angelo Contagonis, member of the team. Shout out to all the members. Join.ringsidereport.net. Angelo, of course, Patrick C. Hamilton, Super Chat Leader of the Night. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you to everybody tuning in here tonight and over the week as we get ready for another weekend in MMA. I've got another big weekend in
What?
professional wrestling. The crazy month of November rolls on.
Oh,
I'll be back here for AEW Full Gear post-show Saturday night, right after AEW Full Gear. Of course, I'll be back here tomorrow night with Johnny North to preview AEW's Full Gear. Very excited about that. Big weekend in professional wrestling, AEW Full Gear. It's MJF time. And DJ Bourne says she is the #1 artist going into 2022-2023. Yeah, I know
Wow.
that, and I
Who
just
would've
don't
known
get
that?
it. This is the thing. Like, there's all these people, men, women, and all sorts of people that are interested, and they like Taylor Swift, and I don't get it. I don't get it at all. It's not for me.
but is she better than Vanilla Ice?
I don't
think
understand
so.
the appeal. I don't understand
Yes,
why
she
people are so
is.
fascinated with her. She's not better than Vanilla Ice, Fred. I disagree. I don't think I've heard
Yes,
any
she
Taylor
is.
Swift songs that I've liked better than Ice Ice Baby. And I don't
Yeah,
even
man.
like
Nothing
Ice
like
Ice
cruising
Baby
down
that
the street
much.
with Ice Ice Baby.
I
You're
can't
right.
name a single song from Taylor Swift,
There
but
you
she
go.
is better than Vanilla Ice.
Well, what makes you say that? Why do you say that?
Because
Don't
she's
ice
like
the baby, man.
one of the biggest stars, supposedly.
Well, it's
Vanilla
all about
Ice had
preference.
one song wonder.
Well, yeah, the Ninja Turtles song too, Fred. Don't forget. Go Ninja,
Yeah,
go
Ninja
Ninja,
Turtles,
go.
man.
Go, Ninja, go.
That was a good one. Ninja, rap. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you again. I'll see you again tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Whoa! DJ Bourne says people say she's better than Beyonce. That is
What?
wrong.
Is that for real?
That's unbelievable. I can't
Even
believe
AJ knows
better
Beyonce,
than
man.
Beyonce.
Even AJ knows Beyonce.
I mean, I'm sure there are some people that say that, but I don't know. Although Beyonce these days, I'm not sure. She's definitely bigger than Beyonce is right now, for sure. That's what I'm saying. AJ, I'm telling
Who
you,
would've
you want to
known,
see
man?
a celebrity
Let's
MMA
just hope they
fight?
don't. And let's
Taylor
just hope
Swift,
they don't
man.
end up like. Let's just hope they don't end up like Madonna, who's making a bunch of weird videos lately. So
Yeah.
handle,
With those
handle
lips,
your
will.
fall from grace better than Madonna.
Yeah, it'll happen. It'll happen. It happens to everybody. Everybody goes crazy, you know?
Yeah, but Madonna's still in it. Like, she's still there, man. That's the thing with her, man. She's still, like, relevant, man. From the 80s, 90s, 2000s, man. She's
I'm
still
not
there.
sure she is.
I don't think she's relevant right now. I don't know. I guess she is because she's making weird videos
wait.
and scaring children. I don't know.
Scaring children.
going topless.
Oh my God, terrible.
Show them, man.
Why is she doing that?
Free
She
the
loves it.
titties.
It's just what she does. She loves it. All right, good for her. Good for her. Yeah, but she seems a little wacky. But
she
you'd
was
be
always
wacky too if you
Dave.
were famous for like 50 years. You know what I'm saying? She's been famous forever. Massive.
Well, that's true. That's true.
You know, and she's
She's
like
still
not
Madonna,
anymore.
man.
You know, it's got to be weird. How do you handle that? Being like the biggest ever and then kind of disappearing. It's weird. I get it. I get why it might make you a little bananas. So God bless. Rest in peace, Jimmy Fallon. We love you. All right. Thank you.
What?
I think he died. I keep seeing on Twitter
What?
that he died.
You're kidding? Even
No,
Jimmy's
it's a joke.
done,
I
too.
think it's like a joke on Twitter. I don't know what's going on, but I think he died.
Damn, even Jimmy's done. What the
No,
hell's
he's
going
still
on?
alive, but he's dead. All right. You ever see that? Rest in peace, Joe Rogan. People always post that everywhere.
They always put poor Joel, man.
Rest
but
in
mind
peace,
you,
Joe
half the
Rogan.
time
But
he
he's
looks
alive.
like he's
I don't
like,
get it.
He looks like he's like, every
Rest in
time you
peace,
see
Joe
him,
Rogan.
man,
All right.
he looks like he's not too far away, man.
All right. We love you, Joe Rogan.
Rogan number 1.
Wow.
Rogan number 1. Ringside number 2.
Iran number 1. Russia number 1. USA. Khaptui. All right.
Hey.
Alex
all right,
Pereira
guys.
has just been detained for having 2 sets of brass knuckles because he always wants to outshine Israel. That also is
What?
not true, AJ.
Alex Pereira. Just chasing Israel Adesanya everywhere he goes. I heard Israel Adesanya has decided to quit fighting and, like Michael Jordan, pursue a career in professional baseball. And Alex Pereira is going to do the same, and he's going to be better. Way
Bo
better.
Jackson, man, number 1.
All right, guys. Shout out to Aaron Judge, MVP of the American League and our hearts forever. We love you. Thank you. This has been Ringside Report MMA on the Ringside Report Network.
Please join in and give your support to Ringside Report Network. We've been providing expert coverage and commentary on both pro wrestling and MMA for over 15 years. Go to ringsidereport.net/support to find out more ways to support the channel.